I know you have a short attention span, so if you want to improve your playing and understanding of Call of Duty, then put away your other devices and focus on my voice. Ask yourself one question. How often do you repeat the same action over and over again? How often do you stand here or run through here? Are you really in control of your game, or does your game control you? The most common complaint about this year's annual Call of Duty, titled Black Ops Cold War, is that the limitation of maps and the quality of the overall game has restricted the player's potential for enjoyment. In this video, I want to oppose that thinking by asking some larger questions and by showing you what they don't want you to see. If you make it through this process, you'll have a deeper understanding of why it often feels like the game is working against you. You'll begin to awaken to how you can rise above that. To begin with, it's my belief that Call of Duty players are not blinded to the repetition that they commit themselves to. If you're giving your time to a multiplayer shooter game like Black Ops Cold War, then you're doing it for one of two reasons. The first reason is for the rewards, the satisfaction and further exploration of the game's mechanics that come with unlocking weapon attachments or from the accomplishment of earning camos. The second reason is for gratification, from playing the game well or from playing it socially, with friends or strangers. See, it's highly unlikely that the annual Call of Duty player is prioritizing their time with the game purely for the enjoyment or exploration of the maps themselves. Therefore, we accept that the maps are more often than not just a repetitive means to an end. Now, here's the secret. Maps in Call of Duty games, especially those that attempt to return to the traditional design formula like Black Ops Cold War does, all rely on your ability to follow paths and understand predictability. The maps and game modes are designed to herd you, like test subjects, into specific areas behind specific pieces of cover, to die the same way in the same place so that you can seek vengeance. You return frustrated and implant yourself back into the same scenario in which you died, standing more often than not in the same place that you died, so that now you can seek to conquer the moment once again. But it's just an illusion. See, game modes like Domination draw you into the most repetitious of spaces and behaviors with little to no incentive to be anywhere else on the map, whereas others like Hardpoint drag you around the map more exploratively, and some like Team Deathmatch and Free-for-All supposedly leave you guideless. But don't be fooled. Call of Duty maps only give the illusion of freedom. What you're really signing up for is controlled frustration. That is what we're going to rise above. So, as a result of few maps and limited design ideas, the Call of Duty community currently feels stretched thin at the launch of Black Ops Cold War with its content. Be aware though that a small amount of maps feels even smaller when the most common walkways and sightlines are so repetitive. However, could it be that while the game has issues, what you're really grappling with is your lack of control? This Call of Duty game to me is the nail in the coffin in terms of my lack of choice as a player, my inability to make game-changing decisions, my brainwashing to comply with the routes that have been provided to me over and over again. I don't resent the formula, but after almost 15 years of playing Call of Duty, I'm starting to wake up to its control over me. Interestingly, in television and films, we resent the idea of predictability. We don't like repetition or lack of innovation in our movie or game sequels. We get most excited by unpredictable moments in our fictional media and unpredictable heroes. We even encourage our favorite characters to think outside of the box, but we barely ever hold ourselves to that same standard. So why do we consistently play something like Call of Duty multiplayer when its core concepts are based around the opposite of unpredictability? Let me explain. What we know is that most of us play games to have fun, yet with skill-based matchmaking, we spend a lot of time in the new Call of Duty not having fun. We push on to the next game or the next moment because what makes it worth it for us are the moments where the tides turn and we are finally in control, or at least it can feel like that when you're on a good streak. Suddenly your alertness spikes up and you have a sense of in-game adrenaline. In spiritual teachings, and this might sound like a stretch at first, this can be likened to the concept of consciousness and awareness, which ultimately is a developed skill that can be applied to all areas of life, even competitive shooters. They're all just big words for focus. Focus on the task wholeheartedly, knowing that giving anything less than 100% will be a waste of your potential. So how do we apply focus so that we can more consistently conquer the enemy team in a game like Black Ops Cold War? Well, funnily enough, when great players and even pro players excel, it actually comes frequently from understanding the game's aspects of predictability, which means knowing how the lanes, paths, and maps are designed to work and where people will appear and when. It's the very silent reason behind the aggressive, skill-based matchmaking, and it's where you need to direct all of your focus. Playing well in this game is never based on luck, and only partially based on your physical gunplay skills. If you pay close attention to when you're playing badly, you'll be able to see that it's usually because you're playing the game predictably, whereas someone on the enemy team, or sometimes the whole team in that moment, is capable of reading your repetitious responses ahead of time and predicting them. The entirety of Call of Duty multiplayer hinges upon this fact. Entire games will ebb and flow and turn like Ferris wheels of player knowledge. As a result of game modes that are designed around only one or two areas of the map, we ultimately miss out on experiencing more, and we find it easy to judge the quality of the game rather than judge our actions or thought processes within it. The places I'm showing you now exist on some maps you've played dozens of times already, but to so many of us, they feel like totally unfamiliar spaces, useless even, because we're programmed to spawn near them and run the other way for revenge. Maps are made to be predictable because your behavior always is, because you will always seek revenge, and the more you die, the less intelligently focused you become. There's this moment in the Black Ops Cold War campaign where the main character actively chooses between fighting off CIA brainwashing or complying with it.
The path split near a ruin, so he took the right fork, not the trail to the left.
It's a phenomenally designed mission, and metaphorically, it's not unlike the way we mindlessly play multiplayer. Take the path to the right. Approach the capture zone, die, spawn, take the path to the right, do it all over again, but this time don't repeat your mistakes, die, spawn, take the path to the middle. Did anything change?
We've been over this already. Skip ahead, next one.
This video is only to make you realize that Black Ops Cold War certainly has its fair share of problems, but so do you. Perhaps you keep coming back to the game because you're programmed to. Perhaps you turn on your game every day, reluctant to die the same way a dozen times over again because today feels different, but it never is. So focus on my voice. Ask yourself one question. Are you really playing, or are you just playing their game? I want to leave you with this. Call of Duty games are designed to bring in the masses, but they've been doing that for so long that the formula is starting to wear off. We are awakening to how that affects our negativity with each title. It's all about predictability and focus. You are brainwashed into a loop that is only ever fun when you rise above it. But even then, with skill-based matchmaking, we're all just given our turn at the pedestal before being pushed back in line. If you want to wake up, then next time you jump back in, watch how obvious the actions from other players are. Then do your best to play unpredictably yourself. If you want to play better, then take a moment of silence before you begin. Block out your distractions, focus your thinking on what you know to be predictable. Outsmart the brainwashed. That's your assignment. Now move on.
We've got a job to do.